Let's talk about something that's not making enough headlines: Russia's systematic use of chemical weapons in Ukraine. This isn't Cold War paranoia. This is happening right now, on the ground, and the human cost is staggering. Russian forces have been dropping toxic chemical grenades, known as RGVO, on Ukrainian troops. These aren't just any grenades. They're loaded with riot control agents like CS or CN gas, stuff that's banned as a method of warfare under the Chemical Weapons Convention, and yet here we are. The first documented use of these new RGVO grenades was only back in December 2023, and since then it's become systematic. The goal? To smoke out Ukrainian soldiers from their fortified positions, forcing them into the open and making them easy targets for conventional fire. The effects on the ground are brutal. Soldiers report burning sensations, eyes watering uncontrollably, choking, gagging, and total disorientation. Imagine being trapped in a bunker, unable to breathe, coughing so hard you can barely stand, while knowing enemy forces are waiting for you to stumble out. At least 6 Ukrainian soldiers have died from exposure to these gases, and Ukraine's security service has logged over 10,000 chemical attacks since the start of the full-scale invasion. Internationally, there's been outrage. In May 2024, the U.S. State Department officially called out Russia's use of chemical weapons, a direct violation of the conventions they themselves signed. By July, the EU was issuing more sanctions, and their foreign policy chief called out Russia's increasingly frequent use of these weapons to inflict maximum suffering. But sanctions? They haven't stopped production. Here's where it gets even shadier. The RGVO grenades are made by a Russian institute called NIPSH. On paper, they make things like sparklers. In reality, their main client is the Russian military. Despite US, UK, and EU sanctions, NIPH still churns out these grenades, skirting restrictions by buying key components from unsanctioned Russian companies. One plant supplies the pyrotechnic parts, another supplies chemicals like chloroform and acetone used in the gases. And there's a China connection too. In just 2 years, NIPH imported about 100 tons of red phosphorus from Chinese companies, enough to supply a quarter of Russia's total needs. Red phosphorus can be turned into white phosphorus, another banned weapon Russia's been accused of using. Intercepted radio calls show Russian commanders ordering gas attacks as a daily tactic, especially in places like Kharkiv. There are videos of Russian bloggers praising these grenades, and even state TV segments showing off their effectiveness. So, why does this matter? Because it's not just about breaking the rules of war. It's about crossing every moral line there is. When gas becomes just another tool in the arsenal, it's not just soldiers who suffer, it's humanity as a whole. Stay informed, stay critical, and don't let these stories fade into the background.